because that goal will serve to galvanize and measure the best of our energies and skills, because that challenge is one that we are willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win, and others too, unquote. When we communicated this promise, it triggered in most quarters, and again, we, as you know, the natural thing or the natural feedback we got when the promise to have water run in our homes in 180 days was made. It was doubts, criticisms, and we had naysayers. But it wasn't difficult for us to understand why that existed. After all, Enugu had countless unsuccessful attempts to address this problem. Happily for us today, we are 180 days from the date we took our oath of office. And here we are commissioning this ultra modern water scheme. With a capacity to deliver 70 million liters of potable water daily, non-stop. And this is only the first phase. And this is indeed also a symbol of the several water schemes that we could have also moved around to commission today. I'm happy to also announce that we also have the Oji River water scheme, where we have delivered brand new pumps. And the Oji River water scheme is capable of producing 50 million liters of water daily. And I'm happy to announce to Enugu that as at today, we're able to produce 120 million liters of water to Enugu non-stop, way above our consumption volume. So we are currently supplying water at appreciable pressure to Enugu municipality. And I can state here and now that pipe-borne water is here to stay. Now the businesses in Enugu can just connect to public water and pay monthly rates like the practice all over the world. Those of them who have invested in tankers can put up for sale and free up capital for other uses. On the part of the families in Enugu, we can now consign to unpleasant memory the sad experiences of coming back after a hard day of work to find that we have run out of water, or the instances of listening to the excuses of the water suppliers as to why they are yet to deliver water up to 2 days after the date of the initial promise. Today, families on the grid will have access to water in their homes, while those outside the grid, for the time being, can go to the water galleries. We have built 96 water galleries across the state. They can go to the water galleries to fetch clean water. Of course, there are a number of instances of burst pipes around the metropolis, but this was not unexpected given the age of a number of our lines. However, these constitute but teething problems which we will surely surmount in a matter of days. And constant water 365 days of the year will once again be a reality in Enugu. For our brothers and sisters who have been engaged in the business of operating water tankers for the water supply business, it will become necessary to remodel your businesses in this new era. Firstly, and maybe perhaps refocusing your supply runs to either construction sites or to some semi-urban areas that our network has not been expanded to. At this juncture, it is important to dimension what we have achieved here today. We now have the capacity to deliver enough water to Enugu metropolis. Today in Enugu, our daily consumption volume of water is less than 100 million liters. Indeed, those that are connected to our pipeline network only consume about 70 million liters of water as it stands today, those that are connected to the pipeline network. But by the time we have all the new layouts connected to the pipeline network, our consumption rate of volume would be 100 million liters of water daily. As it stands today, we can comfortably deliver 120 million liters of water daily non-stop. And this is only but our first phase. This is only but our first phase, because we're also going to increase that production capacity to 200 million liters in few months. We're now about to embark on the second phase of increasing the production capacity of this very location. From the current 70 million, we have planned to add additional 80 million, bringing the production capacity in this scheme to 150 million liters daily. We have also, in addition to that, we're also constructing a new mainstream pipeline, a pipeline that will take us from the twin tower storage to the storage that will distribute to the other parts of the metropolis. We're doing that. That's a major project because we're going to run a 900 mm diameter pipeline to about 20 kilometers from here and have a second mainstream line that will take water. The idea is that we intend to build sufficient buffer so that we can absorb any shock. So we will have no stories to tell in the Enugu, because we're asking people to now discard their storage, to discard their tanker. So we must guarantee that they have water 24/7, 365 days non-stop. And that's why we're building sufficient buffer so that we can absorb any shock that would come from operations. We will also need to continue the effort to extend pipe-borne water to a number of towns outside Enugu. We can see the end of the water challenges in Enugu urban. However, we must refocus ourselves to address towns, water supply to towns like Nsukka, Oji River, Udi, Ogbo, and other semi-urban and urban, in fact even the rural areas. Where clean water availability is not still assured today, we must now begin to examine and deploy creative location-specific water supply solutions across all the local government areas. This will enable us achieve the minimum levels of water sufficiency, sanitation, and hygiene, which will position us to meet the sustainable development goals at the appointed time. I say this to let other Enugu in this affected location know that we do not consider our jobs done as yet. They too must be able to access water, or at least access water in their homes or proximate to their homes and businesses. It is in view of this that we're not yet resting on our laurels. Accordingly, we have, as I mentioned earlier, commenced the development of the following additional capacity. We are processing the expansion of the mainstream delivery channel to Enugu Metropolis, the second pipeline to take water again from the 9th mile to the guarantee. In order for you to ensure you continue to pump water 24/7, you must have a reliable power supply. So we have also built sufficient buffer and round our electricity supply beyond the primary source of the grid where we'll get power. We've also, as you may have noticed, we have built 4.4 megawatts of gas-powered plants to augment the primary source of electricity. So what that means is that we have no reason to tell you we couldn't pump water because EEDC has disconnected us, or because EEDC has not provided us with power. So we have built sufficient power supply here that can guarantee full supply non-stop, so our pumps will continue to run. Again, this brings us to another issue that requires consideration. The entire system of water supply requires scrupulously to be maintained. And if our joy here today is to be sustained, then we must understand that as Ndi Enugu, we have some responsibility for this water system to become sustainable. Firstly, we must be willing to pay for this service. Reliable water supply is not cheap. I promise that this water will be far less expensive, would only be a fraction of what you pay today to get water supply. In fact, it would not even be up to 20% of what you currently spend today to get water. But there is no way it can be free. This means that we'll be willing to pay for connections to the meters, which will be installed by the water corporation to our homes and businesses, and pay a fair monthly rate for the water we consume. Secondly, the infrastructure that we have put in place from this scheme here and the pipes going on into our various residential areas belong to Ndi Enugu. and must be optimized. We cannot afford for them to be vandalized or stolen. Therefore, we must consider it our duty to look at this infrastructure and to take care of them. We must not hesitate to accost and report anyone we see attempting to steal or vandalize these our assets. It goes without saying that any person caught vandalizing or stealing any component of this system will face the full wrath of the law. Finally, while the water is indeed plentiful right now, we must resist the urge to become wasteful to its use. Let us realize that we owe the Enugu a duty to use it responsibly, so the cost of operating the system can be manageable and result in lower monthly bill for everyone. I would like to close this address by putting on record my debt of gratitude. I must single out the special advisor on water and waste for recognition. Indeed, the special advisor for water and waste and his team for their tireless efforts, their toils, the struggles. Indeed, it was only because of the troubles and struggle they had put to get this dream, this vision manifest here today that we're here celebrating. In fact, at some point in my discussion with the special advisor, he told me, Peter, if I knew that we were going to be confronting this avalanche of challenges, I would not have committed to delivering within the time frame I gave you. So I want us to, in a very special way, thank Mr. Andreas and his team, the members, the staff and workers of the Enugu State Water Corporation, the staff and workers of the Ministry of Water Resources.